Hello and good evening, and welcome to the shed. Myself, Trevor. This happy Thursday as we get ready for Storm Amy to hit the country. It's raining cats and dogs out there. There's a lot of places in Ireland flooded, so hopefully everybody is safe. I can see even outside our own house there's a lot of surface water already sitting, and it's been raining all day. But you're very welcome along to the show. So far, so good. Anyway, there's no damage done, major damage, and hopefully the winds and the rain won't come too bad over the weekend. On tonight's show, what I'm going to do is talk about the game week 5 in the NFL, and the Bills are playing the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. I'm looking forward to it. It's the wear of the new jersey, the alternate jersey, the white. And I think from what I can gather, they're looking for everyone in Buffalo to wear all white Sunday night, have the stadium rocking in a white colour as our Bills play the beloved not Patriots in the AFC East. But we'll start today with tonight's match. The San Francisco 49ers are at SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams. This is a game now, I was just going through the injury list where the Rams are absolutely rocked with injuries. So Robert Beal Jr., defensive edge, is out. Juan Jennings, wide receiver, is out. Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver, is out. Brock Purdy, quarterback, out. Jordan Watkins, wide receiver, out. CJ West, defensive tackle, questionable with a thumb injury. And on the Rams side, let me see now, they have one guy, Tyler Higbee, tight end, doubtful with a hip, and Rob Havenstein, tackle, he's doubtful with an ankle. They're the only two injuries the Rams have. Easy to say. I did see here Mac Jones. He did participate today in training, so I presume he will be covering for Brock Purdy at the weekend. And for that reason, I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams. They are the healthier team. Puka Nacua, Matthew Stafford, and co. Are in a way lot better condition than what the San Francisco 49ers are. So for that reason alone, I am picking the Rams to win this game. Both teams are 3-1 in their division, in their division itself, and 3-1 for the season. But I watched the 49ers last weekend, and they were not great against the Jaguars. Brock Purdy had a stinker, but he's also injured. And losing all them players, I know they've lost some before today, but there's a lot of guys out. And when you're playing a divisional game, you want to have your full squad, and the 49ers do not, whereas the Rams do. So I'm picking the Rams for that. Just to let you know how I got on last week, eventually, I had 10 correct and 6 incorrect. One was a tie, but I still call it as incorrect because I didn't pick the winner. But 10-5.5 if you want to go one way, and 10-6 if you want to go the official way, and I'll go the official way. So our second game on the weekend is the game at Tottenham Stadium. So it's the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns are the home team, but it's in Tottenham. I see Dylan Gabriel has now been announced as the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco is now backup quarterback, and Shedeur Saunders is still out in the cold. But I have seen a few stories rise about Shedeur Saunders, and the way it looks, or the way it's looking for him, is I think a team will need to be desperate for a quarterback before this guy gets a chance. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if he is a guy that's misunderstood, a guy that's just trouble, or is it a guy that's living because living because his father has a certain reputation that he's been judged the same thing, and he's not getting a fair whack. I don't know. Like, I have no objection as a Browns fan, if it was one, to say, Joe Flacco, you're out, because Joe, as I said, had a marvelous career, but it's time to move on. But when you go into the things of why come Shedeur Saunders has not moved up, then you look at it and you go, well, there must be some issue there. There was questions of how he got there, because Dylan Gabriel was their pick, And why did they choose him in the 5th round? I don't know. I see reading today that the Ravens pulled out, the Eagles pulled out. So there has to be something in the background. It's a pity for the young man because he has the makings of being a very good quarterback. Whether he's good enough for the NFL or not, I don't know. But will he get a chance to prove that? I don't know either. But in this game, they're playing the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings played in Crow Park last Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Browns have an awesome defense. Myles Garrett and co are chewing up everything. And even the games are getting well beaten as the defense is keeping them in it. Will Dillon Gabriel make a difference in the offense to throw to Jerry Jeudy and co? I don't know. The Vikings, I'm just looking at their injury list here, and like Carson Wentz, he didn't have a great game last weekend, to be honest about it. He threw 2 interceptions. But he's got Addison now back. He has Justin Jefferson as well, who I don't think they made the most of last weekend. And the only reason I'm tipping the Vikings to win this is I think they're more settled than the Cleveland Browns. Dillon Gabriel, I hope he has a great day, and I hope he gets his chance and takes his chance like Jackson Dart hopefully will for the Giants. But in this particular game, the Vikings have had already a week to settle down and acclimatize to the English-Irish time. The Browns are coming over with a new quarterback. There's a lot of noise in the background from their 3rd pick quarterback. Whether it's effective or not, I don't know. I know the Browns defense will have a go at Carson Wentz and the Minnesota offense because that offensive line was pretty weak against the Steelers last weekend. But I also know that Brian Flores will have a go at Cleveland Browns and getting to Dillon Gabriel and making his debut in the NFL a really, really tough game. So I'm picking the Vikings to win that game. It'll be a hard one. It'll be a tough one. I don't think it'll be the most exciting, but I just think that Jefferson, Addison, and Wentz is more effective at the minute than Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, and Dillon Gabriel. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. It's the London game. I was there a couple of years ago. It should be a great occasion, and we will see how it goes. 3rd game on the list is the Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, who would have said Baltimore Ravens 1-3 after 4 games? The team that most people have picked to win the Super Bowl. They're not out of it yet, but that's who they've picked. I'm just looking here at their injury list. So Kyle Hamilton, safety, he's limited practice. Marlon Humphrey, cornerback, he didn't practice. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, looks to be out this weekend. Travis Jones, defensive tackle, limited practice. Tyler Linderbaum, center, limited practice. Like the Ravens have a lot of injuries here. There's a lot of did not practices and a lot of limited practices down here. They're playing a Texans team, and I'll just see what the injury report is there. Will Anderson Jr., defensive edge. Now, Will Anderson Jr., for me, I think he's class. He did not practice. Danico Autry, defensive edge, also limited practice. Harrison Bryant, tight end, limited practice. Nico Collins, wide receiver, limited practice. He'll be a big loss if he's out. And Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback, he did not practice. Jalen Reed, safety, he had limited practice. So both teams have a lot of injuries. The Ravens seem to have a lot more. But I am picking the Ravens to win this game. Because if they go to 1-4 and somehow the Steelers have a bye, but if the Steelers get to 4-1 and they're 1-4, winning that division seems to be a lot less likely. And then you also have the fact that getting into the playoffs via a wild card will make it a lot harder too. Do I think it's serious what's going on at Baltimore at the minute with the way they're playing? I do, to be honest about it. I think that if they were 2-2 or 3-1 at this time, you would say they are contenders. But 1-3, and you look at the Buffalo Bills 4-0, and the Buffalo Bills have also the head-to-head against them. That's a big lead so far for the number 1 seed. And if they go somehow and blow this against the Texans on Sunday, I think that you can write out their chances of number 1 seed, and then you'll be questioning, will they actually make the wild card? But we will see. So I'm picking the Ravens there. I still have faith that they will get through to this game. The Texans, if they lose it, they are in serious bother too. But CJ Stroud isn't clicking. So, and I know it's the backup quarterback. He came from the Cowboys. Is playing quarterback if Lamar doesn't play, but I still think he will do a better job than what CJ Stroud is doing at the minute for the Texans. But time will tell. And I know in 5 minutes his name will come into my head and I'll be able to tell you. So our next game then is the Dolphins at the Panthers. The Dolphins are 1-3. The Panthers are 1-3. The Panthers' last home game, they won 30-0. The Dolphins won their game last Monday night against the Jets. They lost Tyreek Hill for the season with a shocking injury. I don't like Tyreek Hill as a personnel that I can see, but I do wish him well, and I wouldn't wish him any injury, so I hope he gets better soon. This is a game where I tossed the coin who I thought would win, and I picked the Dolphins. I just can't give you a reason why. Both teams are playing rubbish. They're hit and miss. Bryce Young can look good for one play, can look awful for another play. Tua is the same. But I'm just picking the Dolphins. I just think Monday night will help them a bit, and it might kick them on to try and put a kind of a challenge together to not finish bottom of the AFC East. Then we have the Raiders at the Colts. Your Raiders are 1-3. Your Colts are 3-1. Daniel Jones had his first loss last Sunday, but if Adonai Mitchell held onto the ball and didn't give away a penalty for another touchdown, things might be different. The Colts, I think they are the better looking of the two teams, and I'm picking the Colts to win. Geno Smith isn't having a great time with Pete Carroll and co at the minute. Ashton Gentry is doing his best, but I think they're missing still a quarterback, and I think that the Colts with Pittman Jr., with Taylor, and Adonai Mitchell, I don't think he'll drop many more balls. I think they're going to be too strong. It's in Indianapolis, so I'm picking the Colts. New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. Jackson Dart's going for a second game. He had a good win against the Chargers last weekend. Yes, Malik Neighbors, and I wish Malik Neighbors all the best and hope he recovers soon. He's out for the season. But Jackson Dart and Scalaboo and co showed me enough last weekend that I think it'll be a very tight one. I think they will beat the New Orleans Saints. But Spencer Rattler, Chris Olave, Kamara, and so on haven't done themselves any, badness, because they have really put up to us last weekend, and it was a fourth quarter. The toss of a coin for me. I am picking the Giants just because they have shown form, even though they lost the first few games. Better form than what the Saints have, and they have a win. So I'm picking the Giants in this one. Then we have the Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. The Jets were pretty toothless on Monday night, against the Dolphins. Garrett Wilson looks frustrated. Justin Fields is playing okay, but he's not the guy, I think, to get the best out of Garrett Wilson. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott. So we're saying if he had a defense, he'd be up for MVP already. This Cowboys offense is shooting the lights out, but they're also leaking scores. I just think they'll have too much for the Jets, and I'm picking the Cowboys to win that game. And then we come to one of the big games of the weekend. The Denver Broncos are playing the Philadelphia Eagles in Lincoln Stadium, in Philadelphia. And the Eagles are the 4-0, the same as ourselves. The Broncos won last weekend. They're 2-2. but they played pretty well. This is a game now that I think could be very hard to call. Your Eagles defense is awesome. Your Broncos defense is very good. Your Eagles offense isn't clicking, and your Broncos offense isn't at 100 mile an hour either. But for me, I'm picking the Eagles until somebody beats them, or somebody that is in the same caliber as them. And I don't think the Broncos are right now, even though Sean Payton is doing a great job there. I just think that Sirianni and the Eagles they showed the day against the Chiefs. They can, play poorly and win. And that's a good team. So for me, I'm picking the Eagles to beat the Broncos at the weekend. Then we have the Titans at the Cardinals. I'm not going to spend long on this. Cam Ward is already frustrated. Brian Callahan, I don't know if his job is safe. The Cardinals are 2-2. They were unlucky to be in 2-2. They could be 3-1. Kyler Murray is playing better. Marvin Harrison Jr. is finally catching a bit of ball. And I just think the Cardinals will be too strong for the Titans at the weekend. Then we have another could-be cracker. We have the 3-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the 3-1 Seahawks in Seattle. And I'll be the first guy to apologise, Sam Darnold. I didn't think they'd be 3-1. I thought that it was a Kevin O'Connell offense that had him looking as good as he is, but it isn't, and he's gone to Seattle and he's settled in like a duck into water, and he is leading this offense. Last weekend, Baker Mayfield had a tough loss against the Eagles. He did do his best to get them in it, but he also made a silly mistake near the end where he threw an interception where he should have or lost the yards and continued on. They did put it up to the Eagles, and they did show some weaknesses in the Eagles' defensive line. But not enough to get the win, where the Seahawks are ticking along nicely, other than the first week loss to the 49ers, and I think they're going to go 4-0. So I have them picked to beat the Buccaneers on Sunday. Then we have the Lions at the Bengals. It was the 2-0 Bengals. It's now the 2-2 Bengals, and I think Sunday it'll be the 2-3 Bengals against the current 3-1 Lions, where I take it'll be the 4-1 Lions, because this Lions team has, since Green Bay, just absolutely came to life. Offense, defense, the whole lot. Jake Browning, I think, ain't going to be there much longer because the Cincinnati fans won't put up with him. Cincinnati will have to go out and find something. I don't know what they're going to find. There's not a lot out there to pick. Could be a Shedeur Saunders moment, but I doubt it. But on this one, I'm picking the Lions. I know there'll just be shocks in the NFL, but I don't see any shock in this one. Jared Goff, Montgomery, Gibbs, Ross St. Brown, Tesla. That's just some of the names I can name offensive. Aiden Hutchinson in the defense and co. They will smash that offensive line at Cincinnati, and Jake Browning better put on some armor. And then we have another possible cracker. We have the Washington Commanders at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this game is 3-1 Chargers against 2-2 Commanders. Marcus Mariota, I don't know if he's going to play on Sunday. I'm just checking here to see. I thought I'd seen earlier that Jaden Daniels did practice today. They have a lot of injuries. So Jaden Daniels, he did have full practice. So he could be back Sunday. But these are the guys that did not practice for the Commanders. Terry McLaurin, wide receiver. Von Miller, linebacker. Deebo Samuel, wide receiver. Zach Ertz, tight end. That's huge, like huge names missing and possibly missing for the game. The Commanders, yes, they're missing Joe Alt. He did not participate. They are missing, let me see, is there any other big name there? Darius Davis, wide receiver, he did not participate. But all the rest were limited practices. So they're only missing 2 at the minute that could be out. And Joe Alt is out with a high ankle sprain. Now, for how long, I don't know. But given the weapons that are probably missing from the Commanders, I think Justin Herbert will have a bounce back game. But he looked bad against the Giants last weekend. And if that Commanders defense can get to him the way the Giants could, it could be a toss of a coin then. But I'm picking the Chargers. And then we come to our game, Sunday Night Football. It's the Patriots at the Bills. And this is a game of a game, because for me, I have the Chiefs, who I really dislike in a sporting contest. But going back over time, I've always disliked the Patriots. And it's no difference. And now you have Matt Collins there, who I love and adore, but he's now in a Patriots jersey. So for this game, I don't. And you also have Stephon Diggs, amongst others. Stephon Diggs today was seen put up something about how he misses Buffalo and misses the people there and all that. If you weren't such a drama queen, we'd miss you too, but you are. So good luck. Get out. The Bills, I'm just going to look at their injury list. So Spencer Brown, he had limited practice. Jackson Halls, limited practice. Matt Milano, limited practice. Ed Oliver, limited practice. And the only one that did not practice was Dorian Williams. So we have a full squad. Now, I watched a brilliant YouTube video from last Sunday night from the Nickel City Mafia. There, if you watch the show, give them a shout, give them a watch. Mike Thornton, Jake Podger, they are brilliant, brilliant guys. But Mike asked the question, was he worried about this defense? And I'm worried about this defense. And I not in a way where I'm scared, but you look at it and you go, right, they put so much into this defense. Now, I know we're going to have Larry Ogunjobi and Michael Hoyt coming in a couple of weeks' time. But my point of it is, this defense should have shut out that New Orleans team last weekend, like they did the Jets. Because no disrespect to New Orleans, but on this particular year, they're not a team that's a Super Bowl contender. You can understand we made a lot of mistakes against the Ravens. It was the first game of the season. But our run defense is poor. And we need to get more pressure on the quarterback. We need to get sacks. We need to pound them. We need to break that offensive line. We need to put the fear of God into their offense. And we need to get 3-0s to get Josh Allen back on the field where we can kill the game early and not being disrespectful, but give the likes of Josh Allen and our offensive line and our starters chance to have a rest in these kind of games. You don't get many of them during the season, but when you do, you should take it. And last Sunday should have been one where we should have taken it. It shouldn't have got to the fourth quarter. They shouldn't have got to a position where at one stage in the fourth quarter, if they got a score, touchdown, they were in the lead. Not the New Orleans Saints. The New England Patriots are a different kettle of fish. The New England Patriots are a divisional team, firstly. The New England Patriots are a team that's building. They're 2-2 at the minute, so they're second in our division. And they will smell blood if they can, and we don't want them smelling blood. I expect our defense, our big, like I know Matt Milano is coming back, but he needs to come back, have a game. Ed Oliver is a miss. We need to have Ed Oliver back. He's a game changer. And we also need to get Marvin Hairston, back as soon as possible as well, because you can see in that part of the field, we do miss him. We miss someone like that. We need guys who are going to make plays and get the crowd going, and especially defense. Defensive plays are huge, and we don't seem to have that. We've done enough so far, and we've limped over the lines in a couple of the games. But they also pointed out in that podcast, the teams we've played have a combined record of 1-13. And, they're not the highest caliber of offenses you're playing. Yes, the Ravens were, but the Jets and the Saints are not. And yet, the Saints pushed us at one point to the pin of our collar until Josh Allen made that huge run in the last quarter to say, come on, guys, it's time to wake up and win the game. which we did, it was getting nervous, and it shouldn't have been. If this was the Chiefs you were playing, or if it was the Eagles, or it was the Ravens, and it went like that, you go, fair enough. We're here because these are the teams that will push you, but not, no disrespect to New Orleans Saints this year. They're not the team that they want to be. They shouldn't have been. That's all I'm going to say. I'm picking the Bills to win. I think that we should win. We have to win. We cannot show any weakness to our AFC East rivals first, and we cannot show any weakness towards the AFC in total at the minute. That number one seed is what we're looking for. The Patriots did beat us last year in the last game of this regular season. I don't want them to go 2-0 in any kind of way or form. Now, I know they were playing our second string, but our first team needs to go out and needs to start imposing themselves on the game. Not leaving it all to Josh Allen and the offense, James Cook and all them boys to do their thing. Kahil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman and Co, Palmer. It's time now our defense stood up and helped and said, right, we are going to win this game as early as possible, and then we can rest players and get ready, because there's bigger fish to fry as we go along. But I do expect it to be a tough game. Drake May will be there. He is improving as a quarterback. As I said, Stephon Diggs will be there with a point to prove, as will Mac Hollins. Now, Mac Hollins did not leave him any bad taste, but he'll just want to prove it for himself, whereas Stephon Diggs will want the glory. I want him shut down, and I want our defense to shut him down. So, shut him down, guys. And we'll be in our beautiful white jerseys, our ice white jerseys. They're the coolest jersey that was created this year in the NFL. So let's go out and make them proud and make it a jersey with a 1-0 for it might be used again later on, who knows? But right now, let's make it 1-0 with the jersey. Then on Monday Night Football, finally, is the Chiefs at the Jaguars. The Chiefs had a huge win against the Ravens last weekend. They smashed the Ravens, called a spade a spade. They're 2-2. Their Worthy goes back. Mahomes had someone to throw to. They look good. The Jaguars are 3-1 and playing rubbish. And the game they lost was to Joe Burrow, Jake Browning, and the Bengals. And how they lost that, I don't know. It's in Jacksonville. I've said this, I don't rate Trevor Lawrence, even though someone in the NFL thinks he's Samson with the long hair and, untouchable. Yes, they have good players. Liam Cohen is doing a great job. I just think the Chiefs can't lose any more games for a while, and I don't think they'll lose this. And I think Mahomes will go there. Their defense is starting to click a little bit. They were very good against the Ravens last weekend. And I think Chris Jones and co will get after Trevor Lawrence. And if they do, I expect Mahomes in and Worthy, and you would hope for them, Travis Kelce and Hollywood Brown and co to kick into gear. But they will be looking for a win. If they go to 2-3 and somehow we go to 5-0, and we should do, and the Ravens are 2-3 or 1-4, it's really given us a great platform to build to have the number one seed for the season. The teams on the byes are the Falcons, the Bears, the Packers, and the Steelers this weekend. It's the first weekend of byes. As I said, the Vikings are playing the Browns in London, Tottenham Stadium. I hate saying it as an Arsenal fan, but it's beautiful. It's a world-class stadium, and whoever goes there, I hope they have a wonderful time. Tonight's game, the 49ers and the Rams, should be interesting. I just think that the Rams, they're not injured, and they should do the job. And no disrespect, I know Mac Jones is 2-0 when he plays quarterback, but he's not at 100% either. So we'll see how that game goes. For everybody knocking around Ireland, especially that watches this, please stay safe over the weekend. I can hear a breeze picking up on outside, but it's definitely raining, and it's been, as I said, raining cats and dogs. So thankfully the NFL game was last weekend in Dublin, not this weekend, which was a great success, 74,500. It's amazing that if they put on the show they did, it's brilliant that they did, and hopefully the Bills will be here next year, and then we'll get to it. But anyway, that's for another day. Look at folks, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Any comments, any suggestions, any thoughts, please give me a message. You find me on my social medias. And as always, stay safe, stay happy.